You know, it's kind of in the job description. Journalism requires asking questions of people in power, from school boards to City Hall, the state capitol to Capitol Hill. And that's where we find Joe Parris. That's where he's been working this week in Washington, D.C., trying to track down the answers to some of our questions. But while he's there, we thought he'd also try to find the answers to some of your questions.
Bob in Boise, I believe, he says, it is predicted that in 8 years, Social Security costs will exceed its income. After many years of kicking the can down the road, what will you do to shore up Social Security so it can meet its future obligations?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because he's absolutely right. I mean, when they set this up, they knew for a fact that at some point in time it would be unfunded. So as a result of that, we're going to have to pick up the baton and fund it. Look, Social Security is part of the American fabric now. It's something that, much like the public lands issue we just discussed, it's something people want. It's part of their life. It's something they count on. We will do it, and I have every confidence that we will do it. And again, simply because people are so much behind this.
Jordan Gray from Meridian writes on the rescissions package, he writes, why did they vote for the rescissions package and give away their power of the purse? Do you agree with that?
Well, no. I mean, actually, we voted to stop some spending, but that's power over the purse. And so we didn't give away our power over the purse. I think maybe what he's asking is, since the president recommended that package, why did we vote for it instead of having it come through the Appropriations Committee or something like that? But there's not an inconsistency there. The president recommended that to us because he acknowledged our power over that decision. And he was asking us to make that decision. And so even though it was something that he asked for, the point is we had the authority and we asserted that authority.
This is Sherry from Buell. Sherry writes, I'd like our delegation to answer what they're doing to update immigration policies, what they think about Dreamers. I want to know what they're going to do about the farm and construction worker shortage.
It's vitally important. Frankly, we need a legal workforce in the agricultural arena, but also in construction, and I said hospitality and other things too. And the people I've met are good people. I tell this story all the time. I was in Mexico probably 12 years ago or so with a couple of our friends. Kathy and I went down there. And I was talking to a guy who was around, he came around the hotel and was cleaning up the yard and taking the dead leaves off trees and stuff like that. And Bruce and I went out and talked to him. We found out if he saved every dime he made for the year, didn't pay anything in taxes, took everything he got paid, could save it for a year, he could stay in the place we were staying for one night. That's how much he made. So if you're him and you got a wife and you got 2 kids, what are you going to do? You're going to try to improve your life. Sometimes that means coming to the United States, and that's what some of these people have done years ago. And we've got to respect that. And they're coming here to make a better living, and they've actually improved our economy. And so I've been working on an ag immigration reform bill for several years, bipartisan effort between me and 3 or 4 other Republicans and 3 or 4 Democrats. We've had it pass the House a couple times. I think we're getting closer to getting it done, but it's vital that it get done.
So, Brian, those are 3 members of the Idaho congressional delegation that we spoke with, and we actually spoke with Congressman Russ Fulcher a short time ago here in D.C. We're going to have some of his sound bites coming up next week on the 208. We'll also hear about the Epstein controversy from Congressman Fulcher, his insight on what's going on in the House on that topic. Brian, though, it's been an eye-opening experience, I think, to see firsthand what Idaho's congressional delegation is doing here, and we're excited to bring all of that to our viewers in the coming weeks.
Okay, quick question, Joe. When you were talking to Senator Crapo about the power of the purse, and he said, well, we were just asked to do it, so we did it. Why did they then approve it, though, 2 months prior? Why did they say it was okay to spend this money and then all of a sudden say it's not?
I think there was a reset in terms of priorities and in terms of how they were looking at budgets, especially with some of the DOGE actions earlier in the year. You could understand, and we actually asked him about this in a follow-up question that we'll show you next week, that there are people that didn't understand, well, why would you approve something and then take the money back? Well, in terms of taking the money back, it was working with the president and his priorities to cut the national debt in his perspective. So again, you could disagree with that, but I guess they were working in terms of the conservative fiscal principles of wanting to cut budgets across the board.
Okay, we'll look forward to that answer next week. Thank you very much, Joe.